Okay, hello, I'm Sophie D'Souza and welcome to my channel, Sophie Stained Glass. I apologise in advance, I'm in a bit of a building site, so there's going to be some background noise. So I shall get straight on, without further ado. Today we're going to be putting a window in with linseed oil putty, because you will have seen me quite often do it with a sort of putty that comes in a cartridge or a tube, which is acrylic based, really soft, really easy to work with. But actually, mostly people do use this, and the most important thing to tell you is to get a good quality one. You know, avoid own brands because it makes a huge difference. So let's open it and have a little look. Right, there it is. Now the first thing we're going to do is dig a load out. And work it up. So you've got to soften it, and you can do that in your hands. So let's have a little go. Or you can do it on a board. So, and at this stage you'll be able to tell, is it too oily or is it too dry? If it's too oily, you can even wipe it off with a bit of paper, you know, a bit of paper towel. You can see probably the oil is coming out onto the wood, and that will aid the drying process. If it's too oily, it won't dry quickly enough. If it's too stiff, you can add a tiny bit of white spirit. Anyway, I'm going to do this for a while, and then I'm going to start rolling it in my hands and hoping I have enough body warmth to get it up to temperature, because it's much easier to work when it's at temperature. So if you can, leave it on a radiator, but no such luxury in this house. So I'm now doing the bedding putty, and I've got a piece in my hand and I'm just using my thumb. Maybe you could do this with a putty knife, but this is just the way I do it. So do this all the way around your window. This is to create the seal with the outside, obviously. So now I like to sort of stand this side for the other side.
Ah, yeah. Well, you don't call me before.
But I do always find this side a bit awkward.
Okay. I have to do
Don't want too much. This is a very small rebate, to be honest.
I go to pay one later.
There we go. So that is just for bedding the glass in. Push in place. And if you've softened your putty, this bit gets a lot easier. Like I say, this is a really small rebate, so I'm making sure I'm pushing it proper back. And I'm just going to open the door and check what it looks like from the outside. So this is what you want to see, a little bit of the putty coming out on the other side. So that's all good. And we'll trim that at the end because it will give it a chance to just go off a bit and be a little less smeary when we do trim it. And I always place these where there's a joint, and then you won't, hopefully, risk cracking the glass. They're having to go in quite a long way because there's almost no rebate, which is a bit difficult really, because when I come to do the top putty, the pins might show. I'm using 20mm pins today, but normally I would use 30mm. But like I say, I've got no margin for anything to rebake this small. So I'm just going to work this again because it's a cold day, and then I'm going to roll a sausage. You knew that was coming, didn't you? No. Not you, the viewers at home.
I just need to tell you this. Because I don't know. Please remember. Two letters to them. Because maybe this changed the bread or this. 94.
And you're going to change the door position?
This year coming from the center.
Or where you going to put the glass?
Because maybe this put the bed from here to here.
Yeah.
Here from here or the other side is not.
The switch glass.
Well,
Where you going to
okay, it's not changing. No, not changing. Sometimes you're right, though.
It's quite a wet formulation, this one. Actually, I could probably just smear it without bothering to roll it into a sausage, but you will find that if your putty is quite a firm, hard putty, then a sausage is the way to go.
For you, because I don't like you lost too time. How much time here?
So there it is. So now I have to press it into place. So I'm just making sure it's pushed back in. I don't want gaps behind it. Very annoying lock, too big for a door. You start at the corner to get yourself a little mitre, and then you want the angle to be as shallow to the door as possible. And then you'll get a nice straight line. Now, the slight issue with doing leaded glass is that where you have soldered joints, there's a bit of a bump, and that can slightly spoil. Like here, it's like whoop, but we'll come back to that. Yeah, the mitre sorted, and then as you start to pull it down. See how I'm using my fingers to keep it steady? And actually I'm bending the knees so that I keep the angle the same. Now, we need to flick this off. Very carefully. We might take another run down here because it's quite hard to remove this excess otherwise. And there's one of the cheeky little nails, like I was saying, with this rebate being so small, it's really quite difficult to get rid of those nail heads. Make sure you keep your putty knife really clean. And I just want to show you, can't get the putty knife in because of this, so it's good to have, this is the butter knife, and that will help you get to the places a putty knife can't reach. So here they are, the finished item, looking rather lovely next to its neighbours. So I hope you found my how to use linseed oil putty video helpful, and any questions let me know. Check out my other videos, please like, comment and subscribe.